Past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch the shit. Watch the shit.
Now Allen. It's caught by Bryant. That one goes for 24 yards.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Hey, box drop.
On 1st down, Allen. He completes this one to Mack. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. His 11th touchdown of the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Brandon, my man. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
So we got man. Kill. Take four.
Now Gurley staying down. Oh, let's hope he's all right. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther first down.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
That's a gain of 3. Brings up
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Allen fakes the give and keeps himself. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. That one, a first down pickup of 8. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Allen now on first down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Elliott. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Right here. Switch it. Come here, switch it. Alert! 54, right there. 54, Mike. All day. I'm 52. Every day. Any day. Now 10. Wide. Get wide.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Allen. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Mike 50. Alert! Mike 50. Hey, Haywood! Hey, 50 to Mike. Heavy on the edges.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen going for the deep ball. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders, as Sanders has it pumped free. It's picked up by the Cowboys, and they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
54. Mike 54. I got it. On 52. Check Mike 54. Go. They can't hang with us.
Here's Allen following the fumble recovery. Flushed it, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Brian Burns in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20.
58, Mike. Hey, Steve 6. 58 Mike, 58.
Now Allen. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
From the gun, it's Allen. Escaping the pressure right. Boy, he almost did that himself, but it looks like he's about a foot or two short. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And no move by Dan Quinn to get the offense off the field. They're staying out there, and they're going for it on 4th.
Look at me, Zipper. Hurry.
He may try and run for, and he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Jarrett Stidham, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And maybe there that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 2nd down now, it's Grant. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, G. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
That's right, baby.
They'll run with Sanders. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Ready. Time to ending. Mike 5-4. So don't say nothing. Deuce.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. On 3rd down, Grant, and an alley to run. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a Panthers 1st down, 17 yards on the play.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. And if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They were looking for Johnson that time, but it's going to be 2nd down.
54 Mike. Go.
Now on 2nd and 13, Jackson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
It's your time, baby. We need our point.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Hey. You got 3.
On 2nd down, it's Sanders. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a 1st down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Come on, set. 54 the flag. 54. You ain't got nothing.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Grant, and he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Corey Grant, his 1st touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make our score 14-7. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Topper!
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. They shakes him off. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he's able to elude that. And even though he threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Hey, 319! Watching you cry! 56, 56! I'm coming after you! I'm coming after you! Alert, alert, alert!
We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter. 14-7. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
Check, check, check. Motion out of the backfield. Motion out of the backfield. Hey, hey, hey. Alert. Mike's 50. Let's go.
Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it. Stop. Hey, exit. Win the rep. Let's go, right here. 5 wide.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Forced out to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Get off the field. Check 13. Check 13. Pass 85.
From the pistol, here's Elliott. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And an alley to run. And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the first down marker. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more.
High 7. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day. Mike's 50. I'm coming for that.
They do go for it. Here's Allen. He completes it to Bryant. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Allen now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10.
54, smooth. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Middle. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Watch the run. 6-6. Pull it hard. Pass 85. Let's go.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Complete to Bryant. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Mike's 50. Rip left. Switch.
From the gun, Allen. Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Allen going to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Dante Fowler in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And look at this. It's a fake. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But fortunately, a Panther was able to get on this, so Carolina keeps the ball.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Mike 54. All right. Here we go. Let's go, D. Let's go. Hey, let's hit the roll. Flare. Right there. 54. Right there. 54.
Jackson taking a shot for Samuel. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And Bryant has got it. Touchdown, Cowboys. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game is to be in on the second half no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On second down now, it's Sanders. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a third down and 6 to go. Another run here with Sanders. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I got you. Check 32.
A first down carry by Elliott. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays, have them on the move on first down.
55, mark, 55. You're not ready. You're not ready.
Now it's the backup Stafford. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Dante Fowler, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He sets to fire deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
50, 50, easy. Mike 50. Watch the run. Kill.
The shotgun snap for Stanford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dante Fowler make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. That'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
39-yard line.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Quick that. Quick that. Go.
To throw is Jackson. Going long here for Wallace. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson now. Taking a shot for Samuel. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
21.
After the interception, here's Stanford. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
On 2nd down, it's Sanders. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Not today.
On third down, Jackson under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard.
Alert 3, alert 3. 42. Check 52.
They'll run with Elliott. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
White, 64. Alert. Zero.
On 2nd and 12, Stafford buying time to his left. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now Sanders. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 6 there on the first down play. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays.
Check the backer. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Jackson from the shotgun. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. That's taken on the 25. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10.
Check. Waiting. Check. 55 to Mike. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense.
On 1st down. It's Elliott. The 20. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Sanders. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So their move is to decline that so they don't get another 2nd down. It'll be 3rd.
So that has to tell us that they're pretty confident in their 3rd down defense, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's a sub package or nickel package, whatever they want to run out there, they feel like they can defend here on 3rd down.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 8.
Go. I got it. Hey, check my leg.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
250. 54, Mike. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go. Check 37.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Elliott, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
42. He's coming. We got double up. Hey.
To throw is Stafford. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. With his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13. As his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run. It's Sanders. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. Running right, here's Sanders, and he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beat. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
So on 4th down, Ron Rivera sends out the field goal unit. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this one is right down the middle. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35.